Today on the CTV News at 5, Lethbridge Senator Joyce Fairbairn resigns from the upper chamber. Plus, a southeastern BC First Nation takes legal action against a proposed $450 million ski resort. And,
well, it makes me feel really, really happy inside, and I hope it makes the kids happy too.
How an 8-year-old Lethbridge girl is helping kids battling cancer.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Lethbridge Liberal Senator Joyce Fairbairn has resigned from the Senate of Canada. This past summer, it was revealed that Fairbairn had required care for 18 months after she was diagnosed with dementia. She went on an extended sick leave in September. Reports indicate that Fairbairn continued to sit in the Senate until it rose for the summer in late June, voting with the Liberals on at least a dozen pieces of legislation. At 73, Fairbairn, who is 2 years short of the Senate's mandatory retirement age of 75, has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Fairbairn is a former journalist who worked in the office of former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau for 14 years. She was appointed to the Senate in 1984 and was the first woman to serve as leader of the government in the Senate. Her resignation will take effect on January the 18th. Meanwhile, the newly elected chief and council on the Blood Reserve will be sworn in on Monday. Incumbent Chief Charles Weaselhead won re-election earlier this week, edging out 5 challengers. Only 3 incumbent councillors were re-elected. The final position on council was chosen by a coin toss after 2 of the candidates finished tied for the 12th and final spot. The election saw a 49% voter turnout. The swearing-in ceremony is scheduled for Monday, 10 a.m. in the Kainai High School on the Blood Reserve. Meanwhile, the Ktunaxa First Nation is showing its opposition to the development of a large-scale ski resort on the Jumbo Glacier in southeastern BC. Hundreds turned out for a rally today in Cranbrook. Kimberly Davidson reports.
Hundreds took to the streets in Cranbrook, members of the Ktunaxa Nation, environmentalists, and East Kootenay residents who don't want to see development of the Jumbo Glacier. The area is sacred to the Ktunaxa people as the home of the grizzly bear spirit. Many opposed to seeing a ski resort built there see the Ktunaxa's fight as the best chance of keeping the Jumbo wild.
Well, I think that's the way it always is, because in our current legal framework, Aboriginal rights under Section 35, we take priority. So they should be joining us in our legal claim, because we have the strongest position to come from.
The BC government recently announced that a municipality has been established for the site, complete with an appointed mayor and council.
It isn't simply that it bothers me. I think it is just so utterly anti-democratic that in order to placate and assist the development to go forward, that the government should declare a municipality in an area that has no people.
In conjunction with this rally in Cranbrook, there is a delegation of Ktunaxa in Vancouver at the BC Supreme Court. They've filed an application for a judicial review of the government's approval of the Jumbo Resort.
Who needs a summer place to ski? Let us keep Jumbo gondola free.
The Ktunaxa Nation is hopeful that any legal proceedings regarding the judicial review will happen locally. Kimberly Davidson, CTV News, Cranbrook.
Now, the BC government contends that the Jumbo Glacier development has gone through the most extensive public consultation in BC history, and the province expects the resort will attract $900 million in investment and create 750 permanent jobs. And a 43-year-old man will serve federal time for stealing 60 cell phones from Lethbridge businesses. 43-year-old Robert Rochon has been sentenced to 2 years behind bars. He broke into AWC Communications on 2nd Avenue North in Lethbridge 3 times last December and then twice in April of this year. The phones ran an estimated value of $45,000. Okay, Dory, it's not going to get as warm as we'd originally hoped for this weekend, but next week is looking pretty nice.
It's not bad at all, Jackie, in the big scheme of things. We've got freezing rain warnings still out to the east of us in Saskatchewan right now. They have been rescinded in southeastern Alberta, so that's good news. We are expecting to see a little bit of sunshine make its way down to the surface tomorrow because the winds will be picking up a little bit. But yeah, you're right, not quite as warm, but still certainly not in a deep freeze. And you'll see the 5-day forecast coming up in a couple of minutes.
We like how that sounds. Thank you, Dory Rossiter. Well, there's always a lesson to be learned from the generosity of others, especially when it comes from the pure heart of an 8-year-old girl. Today, Taryn Balcom donated $75 in presents to young cancer patients at the Jack 80 Cancer Centre. Daryl Rummel reports.
If anyone understands the true meaning of giving at Christmas, it's 8-year-old Taryn Balcom. You see, for the past year, she saved every penny so she can buy gifts. Not for herself, for friends, or for family, but for kids battling cancer at the Jack 80 Cancer Centre.
Well, it makes me feel really, really happy inside, and I hope it makes the kids happy too.
For each of the past 3 years, Taryn has donated all of the money she saved to a charity of her choosing. A year ago, it was the food bank to feed those less fortunate.
So this year, she told me that she wanted to donate to the sick kids at the hospital.
How special is that?
Very special. She's amazing.
Because I wanted to make them feel comfortable and make them do what they wanted to do with toys and make them feel comfortable and safe.
Christmas is supposed to be a happy and joyous occasion, and still is, but when you're going through, sickness and illness like cancer, the uncertainty of what's going to happen for your future is, it can be really tough, right? Tough, especially for a kid. And these presents are going to bring a smile to their face, and just having Taryn, 8 years old and doing this for these kids is phenomenal. I think it'll make their Christmas that much more special.
While young Taryn is happy to donate to what she'd call worthwhile charities, she didn't do it for the attention. She does it because she says it's the right thing to do. All she really wanted was a hug from her grandma and to go back to school. Taryn's grandma says the 8-year-old has 3 bank accounts: checking, savings, and sharing. Roughly 10 children visit the Jack 80 Cancer Centre for checkups and emergency treatments who will soon benefit from her generosity. Daryl Rummel, CTV News, Lethbridge.
What an amazing little girl. Now, cancer patients under the age of 18 are treated primarily at the Children's Hospital in Calgary, but Southern Alberta patients are able to have blood work done locally, potentially saving families thousands of dollars in travel. Another holiday fundraiser kicked off this morning. The 23 Days of Christmas campaign is critical for the Meals on Wheels program in Lethbridge. Over the next few weeks, people are encouraged to visit Cupper's Coffee or Crazy Cakes and buy a $20 gift card. Now, the card can be redeemed for coffee or cupcakes. $10 from the sale of each card benefits Meals on Wheels. Organizers say without the Christmas campaign, the program wouldn't be available in Lethbridge.
We're still deeply underfunded. So we really need this campaign, A, for the publicity, but B, for the money as well. And it's been a lifesaver, really has.
The goal this year is to raise between $15,000 and $20,000. Meals on Wheels delivers more than 80 meals a day, serving seniors or shut-ins who may otherwise be forced to move out of their homes. The doors open tonight for a musical and theatrical production that sees proceeds benefiting to local food banks. As Brendan Miller reports, the family-friendly show has a little something for everyone.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
The Evangelical Free Church of Lethbridge is once again producing and hosting a major Christmas production titled Christmas at Grand Central Coffee Company.
It's kind of an unusual tale of 4 unlikely people who all collide at a coffee shop in a mall, and how their Christmas season and their Christmas experience unfolds as they get to know each other better.
The original script was written by a volunteer at the church, and the production is being directed by a student in the university's performing arts program.
Yeah, it's a lighthearted drama. It's fun. It pokes fun at a lot of things.
This major holiday production, featuring more than 150 volunteer actors, musicians, and technical staff, is designed as a free event for the entire family, but donations are accepted.
Taking an offering and encouraging people to give generously. Every penny that comes in towards the food banks will go directly to them.
This is the 5th year of hosting a Christmas production. Over that period, they've raised over $100,000.
But we hope we can as effectively support the food banks, and the more generous people are, obviously the more that the communities can benefit from that.
Brendan Miller, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The show debuts tonight, 7:30, with additional performances throughout the weekend. Starting tonight, drivers in Lethbridge and area who've had a little too much celebrating can call Operation Red Nose for a safe ride home. The campaign, which helps raise money for Pronghorn Athletics at the U of L, is coming off its most successful year yet. It's the 18th year for the program, which provides safe rides home for both patrons and their vehicles after a night out. They hit the road tonight and are still in need of volunteers for the coming days. Athletic Director Sandy Slavin says that they're expecting their biggest year ever. For a ride or to find out how you can volunteer, call 403-320-4155. And a number of organizations came together at City Hall today to recognize the International Day for Persons with Disabilities.
Doris was nominated by members of the community because she's just demonstrated the commitment over the years to engaging and raising awareness of persons with disabilities.
CTV's Dory Rossiter was presented with the Premier's Council Award for Excellence for her efforts in raising awareness about issues and challenges facing people with disabilities. A number of groups and organizations were on hand to explain the programs and services that are available in the community. The event also celebrates the success stories and accomplishments of individuals with special needs.
It's a day to not only raise awareness about challenges and services, but it's a day to really celebrate the abilities of persons with disabilities and the value that they bring to each and every community and what they can contribute as far as valuable employees and volunteers.
Worldwide, about 1 billion people live with some form of disability. That's approximately 15% of the population. Here in Alberta, it's estimated that about 350,000 people have one or more disabilities. Speaking of awards, Lethbridge Mayor Rayco Dodick and Police Chief Tom McKenzie were honored today in Calgary. Both men were presented with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal during a ceremony at Mount Royal University. The medal is a special honor being handed out this year to symbolize service, excellence, and community involvement. Mayor Dodick has practiced law in Lethbridge for more than 3 decades and was first elected to council in 2004, while Chief McKenzie has served as a police officer in Lethbridge for 36 years. Congratulations. And as we've been telling you all week, we're finally available on satellite, Bell TV, channel 643. But if you can't catch us there or are on Shaw or TELUS, where we can also be picked up, there is also our Facebook page, CTV Lethbridge, as well as Twitter. We post all of our news, weather, and sports there. Time now for a look at how the markets wrapped up the day.